Hey everybody, it's Katie. So today I have a really fun, quick project for you guys. We are going to be making bracelets with a macrame slide knot. I have been so into making these bracelets recently. Here's a few that I have made. I had one with gemstone and I got these sterling silver spacer beads. I did one with mixed gemstones and I did one with these fun glass evil eye beads. So real quick, let's go over what you need for this project. You are going to need you're going to need a lighter. These are nylon cords, so we use the lighter to burn the ends. We also need 2 different sizes of macrame cord. I'm using it in a brown today, in a 1.5 millimeter and a 0.8 millimeter. On the gemstone bracelets, I'm using large hole gemstone beads, and so I need the 1.5 millimeter cord to go through the center, and you can see it coming out here as the tails. And then I use a 0.8 to do the little macrame slide knot part. Now on the glass beads, or if you're using regular whole gemstone beads, you could just use the 0.8 millimeter cording, but it's a little thinner, so I don't always feel like it's as secure. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just like to use something a little bit heavier usually, but you can do either way. I also really like adding like little beads at the ends of the tails, just for a little bit fun extra touch. This one you can see I didn't do that. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's jump into our project. I went ahead and already strung my beads on here. I have a small wrist. I have a 6.5, so I was able to take 1 strand of the large hole gemstone beads and string enough beads and have 3 left over. So for my bracelet, I cut 15 inches of the thickest cording, which was the 1.5 millimeter. You want to make sure that you have some tails because you are going to do a couple knots on this and it does eat up some of your length. So what I'm going to do is make sure that my beads are kind of centered in my cord. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it right above where the beads are, and I'm going to create a knot there. So you're just going to make a loop and then pull the tail through. And this is going to keep your beads centered on your cording, and they're not going to be able to roll around on you later. So we're going to put 1 knot there to keep these beads here. And then I'm also going to add a knot here. I'm actually going to take these 2 off because those are supposed to be my dangle beads. And I'm going to put a knot here. All right, just make a loop and pull it up tight next to your beads. Alrighty, there we go. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to string on one of my dangle beads onto each end. And I want that my dangle bead, we're going to have our little slide knot, which is going to take up about 1/2 inch. So I want to add about 1 inch more cording than that after I have my knots to put my bead. So I have 1.5 inches, and then I have my bead. So my bead is going to be about right here. Again, I'm going to pinch it and create my knot. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. Line my beads up and pinch it where I want the knot to go, make a loop, and pull the tail through. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of make sure those are the same length, which you can see they aren't. So I'm going to just scooch my knot up a little higher, like so. There. Okay, perfect. All right, so once I have my knots done, I'm going to remeasure it just to see how much space my knots took up. So this was 15 inches to start with, and now I am at 12.5 inches. So 12.5 inches is what I have left length after I do 4 knots, and it was 15 to start with. Okay. So we're going to deal with these tails a little bit later. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to cross these 2 like this. We're going to attach them in the middle. Now I went ahead and already cut a 1-foot long piece of the 0.8 millimeter cording. And what we're going to do for the macrame is we want to take our cording and we want to go underneath both of those cords, okay? And find the center point. So I got my two tails together and there's the center point. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to cross them over, take the one tail through, so I'm making a knot like so, and I'm going to pull it tight around both my cords. Okay, so now we're going to do the little macrame section. Let me get you guys a little bit closer. Okay, so we're going to take it, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to make a little bit loop like that. Now you're going to take the other side, and what I always tell myself is I go over this cord, I go behind those two center cords, and I go through the loop, okay? When you pull it, you're making like a little pretzel. See the little pretzel? And then you're going to pull it all the way down to this. Now you don't want to pull it too tight because you do want it to slide, but you want to pull it tight enough that it's not, you know, sliding open by itself. So there's a fine line there. Now we're going to do the opposite side. So I'm making a loop on this side. I take this cord, I go over this cord here, I go under the two center ones, and I go through this loop. Again, I'm looking for my little pretzel, and I'm pulling it all the way down. Now, if you set this down and come back to it later, you're going to say, well, which side am I on? All you have to do is when you look at this, you can see the cord that is coming out of the side that has the little loop going this way. See the little loop going that way, and then the cord is coming out from under it, where this one is coming up. You want to go on this side, all right? So that's how you know which side you need to do next. Okay, so let's continue on. So I'm going to do, again, make a loop on the one side, take this other cord, go over this cord, under these ones, and through this loop. We have our pretzel, and we pull it down. So I'm just going to do this real quick till I get 1/2 inch, and I'll come back and I'll show you guys how to end it off. Okay, and I'm done. So I did this slide knot section to be about 1/2 inch long. As far as how long that I did that. Now we're going to end all these things off and get rid of all these tails. Let me zoom out a little bit for you guys. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and we are going to clip the excess thread right up next to it. You can see it has a little bit of a tail. And then we're going to take this, we're going to light it, and we're going to melt that tail into this section. So we're melting part of this section as well. We want to be careful because we don't want it to not be able to slide like if you melted it to this center cord, right? You still want it to be able to slide. All right, so now I'm going to do it on this other side. I'm going to clip it off. Now you can leave a little bit more of a tail and it's fine. So like this one you can see on this side, I left a little bit more of a tail. You're just going to have a little bit more of a melted section. Be careful of your fingers, obviously. Kind of push it down into the piece. It can be warm when you do that too, so also be careful there. And then once you have that, you have your slide knot. Then all that is left is to clip off these excess. So clip that off, melt that. Again, we're kind of melting the end, but we're also melting it into the knot as well. We don't want it to be able to come undone and start fraying on us. So we're going to clip that off. Melt that in there. Okay. And voila, you have a little slide knot bracelet. All you do to put it on is open it up like that, slip it on your hand. You can grab the little beads and pull it, and you'll have little tails here and your bracelet. Look how easy that was. Alrighty, well guys, thank you guys for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.